Hawks win! Finally, the Hawks beat a team. The Hawks win 6-3 over the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is our 9th consecutive win over the Penguins, and it's a good one. We end the 8-game losing streak over the Penguins. Anytime we see the Penguins on the lineup, on the schedule, we come to play. The Chicago Blackhawks finally win a flipping game. Holy crap, that was a fun game to watch, boys. If you were watching the live stream, it was a fun one to do because Hawks win over the Penguins 6-3, and it was a great game all around. Carl Dahlstrom played a great game tonight. Dylan Sakara played a good game on the third line tonight. All around, the team played solid. The second defensive pairing of Seabrook and Manning, not so much, but forget about it. We won a game. Corey Crawford looked the happiest in net in a long time since his return to the ice back in October 21st. Crow actually looked happy after this game because you could tell when all the Hawks players went to Crow after the game and started celebrating. Crow had a giant smile in that mask. It was one hell of a game to watch, and if you missed it, you missed a good one from the Hawks. They finally win a game, and they're no longer last place in the NHL anymore. How about that? But Pittsburgh, it was for their 3 goals, only one player scored tonight, and we'll get into that. But honestly, Hawks scored on a power play. They killed probably the most lethal power play in the NHL twice and did not allow a power play goal. Hawks scored a power play goal. That's something new. The Hawks allowed 40 shots, but Crow came to play. The team all around played great. I will go by the stat line first for shots. In the first period, Pittsburgh had 13 shots and the Hawks had 13. Just straight even game to start. And the Hawks scored 2. Penguins scored only 1 in the first period. But in the second period, that's when Pittsburgh started lighting up it, where they were basically having rockets of a shot. They had 17 shots on net, and the Hawks only had 8. Pittsburgh in the third period outshot the Hawks again, 13-8. Pittsburgh had a total of 43 shots on net, and the Hawks only had 29. We came and we didn't have a solid defensive numbers standpoint for how many shots we allowed, but Corey Crawford had a great game. He looked happy, like he was up to playing a tough opponent, and he did. And Hawks went 6-3. This is since I've said it, it's our 9th time beating Pittsburgh in a row. It's a great time to see Pittsburgh on this schedule to end a losing streak. Why not? This is how the scoring went. By the way, the Hawks are no longer in the single digits for their record. They have 10 wins, finally. Holy cow, that took forever. The Hawks are now 10-18-5. Pittsburgh is 13-11-6. Hawks beat Pittsburgh 6-3, as I've said. But in the first period, the Hawks did not allow a goal in the first 10 minutes. That's when I knew the Hawks have a chance if they did not allow a goal in the first 10 minutes. The Hawks actually scored the first goal in the first 15 minutes. Andreas Martinson scores his... That's wrong. He has more goals than what the NHL app has. I want to say that's his third goal of the season, but I guess it could be right. And Martinson scored. It went off of his back, but Carl Dahlstrom, who was called up by the Rockford IceHogs today, was who set this goal up. Kruger sent it to Dahlstrom, and Dahlstrom shot the puck, hit Martinson in the back, and the puck gets behind to Smith. And Hawks lead 1-0, and at 14-14 in the first period. Then the second goal of the game at 17:51 in the first period, Brent Seabrook with a bomb scores his fourth goal of the season, assisted by Jonathan Toews. It was one hell of a shot. It was a rocket. Seabrook and Dahlstrom officially have the hardest shots on the Chicago Blackhawks. Dahlstrom, you could see how how much of a rocket he has when it comes off the puck, off his stick. But Seabrook still has the hardest shot on the team, and that shot showed it. It was a pure clapper. Then at 18:40, Brian Russ scores his second goal of the season, first of the night, makes it a 2-1 game at the end of one, and Hawks leading after one period? How is that possible? We haven't done that in forever. Oh man. Going into this game, the Hawks haven't had a lead longer than 41 seconds in over 8 games. That lead came against the Vegas Golden Knights in Vegas a few nights ago. And they had a lead longer than that. That's a good thing. Up start for our Hawks after a tough back-to-back, after a tough game last night to the Winnipeg Jets. The Hawks came to play. So in the second period, 5 minutes and 46 seconds in, with his second goal of the night, his third hit of the season, Brian Russ scores again. And the assist went to Grant. And that was a 2-on-1 break. Seabrook turned over the puck. It got to Grant's stick, and it was he shot it, went off Crow's pads, and got a giant rebound. And Russ was right there to bury it. Hawks and Penguins tied 2-2 now, after 5 minutes of the second period. But at 15:28 in the second period, the Cat, Alex DeBrincat, scores his 13th goal of the season, assisted by Patrick Kane and Brent Seabrook on the power play to make it 3-2 over the Pittsburgh Penguins. It was a power play goal. Kane just got a good pass off. It was behind DeBrincat. DeBrincat had control of the puck to cross the ice. It looked offside, but Cat had the control of the puck. So, good goal. Hawks lead 3-2. But that's not over. 1903 in the second period, with the hat trick, Brian Russ scores his 4th goal of the season for the hat trick, and the assist went to Monta and Austin Reese to make it 3-3 at the end of 2. Brian Russ had one great game. I give credit to him, but holy crap, it was Brent Seabrook and Brandon Manning on the ice for all 3 of those goals. And that goal, it went off of Brent Seabrook's stick, hit Crow in the head, and went into the net. So, Russ scores a hat trick in tonight's game, and that was the Penguins' only goal scorer tonight. So, third period comes, Hawks and Penguins are tied. But at 3:49 in the third period, Marcus Kruger scores his 4th of the season, assisted by Andreas Martinson and Duncan Keith to make it 4-3 Blackhawks. And that was a good passing play. Martinson was right behind the net, got it up to Kruger. Kruger on the doorstep, buries it past to Smith, and Hawks lead 4-3 over the Pittsburgh Penguins. And their last 2 goals of the night for the Hawks, I would put together because they were basically empty net goals. Jonathan Toews scores his 14th goal of the season, assisted by Brandon Saad, and that came at 18:58 in the third period. And to follow it up, at 19:39 in the third period, Brandon Saad on the empty net makes it 6-3 over the Pittsburgh Penguins, assisted by Jonathan Toews. So, Toews and Saad had points in tonight's game. Kane continues his point streak. But Hawks win. Yes, Hawks win. 6-3 over the Pittsburgh Penguins. And keys to tonight's game, the 4th line. The 4th line played one great game. Martinson, Kruger, and frick. Why I'm blanking on the other winger. Yes, the Hawks had a good game tonight, and Hawks win 6-3 over the Pittsburgh Penguins, makes it a 9th in a row versus them. Corey Crawford faced 43 shots, only allowed 3 goals. Good game all around by the Hawks. Happiest I've ever seen them play after a game, and since honestly a playoff win, but it's finally done. The losing streak is finally over, and this is, in my opinion, a game you can look at that could turn a season around. But thank you for watching the broadcast. Hawks win 6-3, and most of all, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and let's go Hawks!